Hello, hello. Welcome on into another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. I'm Will.
I'm Sarah.
No, Matt.
On today's episode, we're talking about Basil Hayden and their subtle smoke release.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about this new release, correct?
Yes. All right. Basil Hayden subtle smoke. Somehow we've done Basil Hayden episodes, but never done actual bourbon from them. We've done the rye. Had the what's the best Basil Hayden episode. But this is the subtle smoke with the usual whopping 40% for Basil Hayden. Oh boy. So it's 63% corn, 27 rye, 10 malted barley, which is of course the same mash bill as the regular one. Approximately 8 years old, which is the old age statement. Of course, it's not on here, but that's what they think it is. And what the big special thing on this is they have a second barrel. It's toasted and then lightly charred, and then they pump hickory-smoked chips into it, and then pump the physical smoke into the barrel. Yeah, it seems very strange. And then that's for 6 months it sits in there. I don't really understand how that works.
They're smoking the actual whiskey, or they're just smoking the barrel
smoking
before the
chips, and then they're taking the chips and then taking the actual smoke from the chips and sticking it into the barrel where the whiskey is, into that second barrel. It's very odd. I don't see how that's going to do a lot, but I guess we'll find out in a second.
Maybe that's why it's called subtle smoke.
Yes. Or lazy. That's the other option. Lazy.
Lazy smoke.
Lazy smoke is my option. It's like so barely there.
It's barely there. I can get just the slightest hint of some type of smoke. But
see, and I would almost label it tree sap before I would label it smoke.
Yeah,
if you didn't tell us this was smoke, I don't know if you'd know that.
I would think I would get it from maybe barrel char.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I would get this from like really young wood being made into barrels after being kiln dried. Like it smells like a sappy.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the caramel and butterscotch, but it's also got this like acetone with a hint of smoke and burnt wood and corn and hay.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell fabulous at all, especially for, it retails at 50.
Retails at 50 for this?
Yeah, I mean, the regular Basil Hayden's up to 40 now, so.
Okay, so they poured a little smoke into the barrel and they added $10?
Yeah, pretty much.
They rebarreled it too.
Yeah, they rebarreled. I mean, basically, the one prior to this release was the toasted, which I tried while I was in Charleston. It was pretty good. Same thing. I think it's about like 45 for that one. And they basically said, well, let's add some smoke to the toasted barrel we just made. It's like, we're just too lazy to even make new stuff. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, I get a slight hint of like a charred marshmallow.
Yeah.
Or even like a charred, like the topping of a creme brulee, just the topping.
Yeah. Okay.
I get my typical Beam Suntory fingerprint of a little bit of that boiled peanut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely there.
Yep.
This one does smell. The rye is more prevalent on this one to me, and it comes across as more of a spearmint.
I agree.
Than it does anything else. I'm not getting a dill note on this one.
No, it's just all minty.
Yeah.
A little bit of black pepper, but not very much.
That dusty corn.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like a pretty typical bourbon, but to me, it just goes off on this kind of tangent of tree sap that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah. It's not what I was hoping for. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Tastes very young and thin.
Yeah. This looks to be 8 years old or almost 8. I'm very disappointed.
It's very thin on the palate. It's like I don't get anything much of even feeling like there's alcohol on my tongue.
Yeah, it's the whole 80, 80.
Right, until it hits the back. And then it has the slight little, alcohol burn that.
Yeah. Up front. Caramel butterscotch.
If you blinded me on this, there's much more of a chance that I'd call this a rye than I would be a smoky bourbon. It's very, very peppermint and black pepper, and a lot of my markers for rye are in there. It is sweet like a bourbon.
Yeah,
but
that's the only thing that kind of gives you a hint.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm picking up any of the extra smoke on the palate at all. Other than it just being,
I get a little bit of what I would if I didn't know this was slightly smoky, and what they did to it. I'm getting some of that, a little bit of that barrel char, but it's not excessive.
Yeah, it's like a little earthy.
They used a 2 on the char.
on the finish like wet fish, wet like feet. It's a very weird finish. I like the up front much better than the finish.
Yeah, I like the nose better than the palate.
Yeah,
But-
it's meh. I mean, you put it in a cocktail, it's going to disappear, so it's going to be anything special there. I can't really recommend this one. I mean, I don't think it's a bad whiskey by any means. It's just meh.
No,
I don't either, and
Fine.
I think that Basil Hayden and really just Beam in general have
And
a
that's-
nice
this-
following that their people are going to want to try this. I just don't feel like there's enough of a variation
Mm-hmm.
or enough of like a smoke to even call that a subtle smoke.
I'll say what I say about Basil Hayden to anybody who asks me. It's a great beginner whiskey.
And that's what this is for. It's for beginners.
It's great for
For
beginners.
$50.
Yeah, it's hard to get a beginner to buy a whiskey for $50 when they haven't had it before.
Well, I
mean,
forgot.
even
This
when
is,
they've had it before.
this is the regular Basil. Just happen to have it behind me, so I gotta grab it real quick. There's not that big a difference. It's sweeter
like-
on the regular one, but that's about it.
I like the palate better than the nose because I don't get the sappy on the palate, but even going back to the nose, I'm still getting that young sappy. I can't believe this is 8 years old. If you were to make me guess, I would have probably said 3.
And we
Yeah.
gotta assume that they're using, good barrels, right?
True. I mean, it's not age stated, but that's what the theory is that I've read, that it's that old. So who knows?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very, very. It's such a slight difference from the regular stuff. It's not even funny.
How much can you trust the interwebs?
I don't know. People are trusting us on the interwebs right now. Maybe.
I mean, the regular one's sweeter. That's about it. Is it worth an extra $10? Not really.
Yeah,
But hey, if you're
to me, it
interested
just
to
feels like a nice
try
qualified bourbon.
subtle smoke, then I guess it's just for you.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just don't get a whole lot of that smoke. And I don't know where they get
And
off.
if you want real smoke, try Andalusia, a real smoked whiskey.
Seriously,
Get you some striker in your life.
maybe
Try it.
grab some of that and drop a couple and drop some here.
It improves most whiskeys when you do that to it,
Make
I
it
would think
extra
so.
smoky.
I think Striker would make this amazing.
right?
But hey,
That's
for what it's supposed to do, I guess it accomplishes its purpose. But for us, this is not. We're not into basic whiskeys. This price point.
Yeah,
Um,
for me, it's the price point. If this was
If it was $20, I'd be happy with this. But it's not.
If it's sub 30, yeah, come on, that'd be a great release. I'd be all
But
over it.
because it comes from Beam, they have the ability to use that price point that they're using because it has that name on it.
That's
And
right.
like you said, they've got a following, and that's great. You like
I
what
mean,
you
I
like.
like the label. It's pretty. I mean, I like the fire and the smoke on it's kind of cool. But the whiskey inside's meh. It's fine.
You're paying for the bottling and the name.
That's right.
All right. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. And come hang out with us live on Monday nights. Until next time,
Keep on crusading for better whiskey in your glass.
cheers.
Cheers.